Welcome this AM. That's before noon on a day such as this.
Couch coffees again.
Couch coffees, yeah. Tim brewed this. What is the roast on this dog?
I believe this one is I think it's actually espresso beans. It's Kirkland Colombian, what do they call
Bam
it?
Bam.
Colombian something.
What
Colombian
is
delight.
espresso? Is that just is it a type of bean? Is it a type it's brewed? Is that
I think it's how it's brewed, but also they make specific espresso beans.
so the beans are designed for espresso?
Yeah.
It's like
They're bred for espresso.
it's like you can put it's like 87 gas versus 91.
Yeah.
You can put them both in the coffee maker.
Yep.
But you probably,
One of them's designed for a different
high
purpose.
octane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good way to say it.
I've been using this phrase a lot lately. You don't put gasoline or you don't put diesel in a Ferrari.
That is true. What is the situation you're using that in?
Usually it's when people
They offer you some French fries?
I'm trying to think. No, it's oh man. I used it a few times at work where like, oh, why don't you do because I was like I really avoid sugar at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, you should try this foo-foo coffee drink from Caribou, and I'm like, nah, you don't put
Not
diesel.
about that life.
Yeah. And then, what is it? Oh, do you use like flavored creamer? And then as I'm pouring heavy cream into my coffee, I'm like, you don't put diesel in a Ferrari. I don't know. I like it because I think a lot of people who haven't heard that phrase interpret it differently. So
Yeah.
just watching their reactions is amazing to me.
Speaking of interpreting differently, so last episode, we were talking about your new favorite band, Ripe,
Mm-hmm.
and you asked about some lyrics in one of the songs. You said you liked simple lyrics, and then you listed it off. I don't remember exactly what the lyric was. Do you?
There's a couple. There's what good is a journey if a journey's all beginning and no ending?
Yeah,
And then there's also
that's the one I was thinking.
oh, I think the one that really I like a lot right now is if this is fine, I need better than fine.
Yeah. Was that the same song?
Yeah.
That was Brendan, right? The
No.
first one was from Brendan, right?
No. The first one was from Brendan. Yes.
Yeah.
The second one I think is from. Is it Get Over It or Get Over?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. But
Yeah, Get Over
because
It.
you asked me what I thought that meant, the first one. What good is the journey if the journey's all beginning and no ending?
Yeah.
Because the context, like in the song, he's talking about death.
Right.
So he's like, death is providing a service because the ending is like, if it's just a journey,
Mm-hmm.
there's no ending. So it's kind of like I kind of said it was like my interpretation was like kind of the same as like don't focus on the destination, focus on the journey.
Right.
But that is kind of flipping it on its head and saying, who cares about the journey if there is no ending?
Right. Well, yeah, more so I think to say it a different way, maybe, or my interpretation, what you just said is like, if the journey never ends, well, yeah, I don't know. If the journey never ends, then
What's the point?
what's the point?
Yeah.
And then also, if you're all focused on the destination, well, the destination is technically like death on that tone in that song,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, stop focusing on the destination. You don't want to get there, but enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
A little bit of both. That is
Okay.
a good song, though.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
I want to talk about, so I went and saw Hozier. Is that how you say it?
I thought it was, I don't know.
Hozier? I don't know. Sozier.
Yeah.
At First Ave. He did a pop-up concert at First Ave on Wednesday.
That's pretty cool because he's probably big enough he could play somewhere bigger.
Yeah,
right?
so he sold out.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But I thought it was very, very bizarre because I was there. I was like, okay, I know, yeah, some of his songs. I'm not a huge fan. Like, I don't seek him out, but it's like, I like his music, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So there were like,
He does the "Oh, I fall in love just a little bit."
Yes.
I love that song. That's a great song.
So couple things. So first thing, he's got really good vocals,
Yeah.
and I feel like some of his songs don't really like showcase it. Which
Yeah.
like he played like a new song that he just dropped, I think that day, that no one had heard, Francesca. That really showed off his vocals, which I was like very pleased with.
Mm-hmm.
But that was okay. So then he does band introductions throughout the show. You know, oh, this is guy on bass and drummer, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So half the people are from Nashville, and then the other, like the drummer, the bass, and like guitarist, and himself are all from Ireland, Dublin, Ireland, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is fine. Super interesting though, because I don't know if it's his style of like live music or like just his music in general, but like the beat, someone got off on the beat during the concert, and I think it may have been the guitarist, because he was like having the audience clap.
Yeah.
And the audience was keeping the beat, and then he got off, and then some of the audience were like keeping the beat.
They got all.
And then they were
up.
watching him, and he
Yeah.
was off, and so it fucked everyone up.
Yeah.
And so then it just died very quickly because everyone realized it was like, this is not right.
Yeah.
Happened multiple times, and I was just kind of like, you know, I was just seriously like, okay, who's doing this? I was trying to figure out who it was, because I didn't know if it was the drummer or the guy clapping, or
Yeah.
or like there was beat changes throughout. So that's where I'm like, is it the three Irish
Somebody
people?
missed a transition.
Yeah,
or something.
I'm just like, who is it? Like, I'm trying to. I think it was the guy clapping. So it's just something I thought was interesting, and I didn't want to chalk it up to the Irish people for being like. But I was just like, this something's off, and I just thought it was funny.
They're suffering from jet lag or something.
Yeah. Well, and so then the other thing was, okay, it's my new thing that I can't stand with live concerts and music, is when you have such a hit song.
Yeah.
Where everyone, and then lyrics are simple, so everyone knows them.
Right.
And then half the time the artist is just throwing the mic out at the crowd to sing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he did that a lot. And there was parts where like they didn't, but you know, whatever. Like the chorus, like sometimes they didn't, and they just had the audience do it. And I was just like, they did it. Like I get it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But they did it a lot, to where I was just like that song that we just mentioned, Fall in Love a Little Bit, or whatever it's called.
I don't even remember what the name is. Yeah.
Whatever. So that song, it's like the whole audience was singing that song with him and stuff. And I was like, I just was looking at everyone like, shut up. Like, I came to see the dude, not hear a drone of quote unquote fans. I was so like, I was really annoyed and then of course the throwing the mic at the audience, I was like, boo. I didn't boo, but I felt like I should. I wanted to. And then it was just really, really interesting people with that concert, honestly.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of like different types of shows at First Ave. Like I saw like full rap show, like Joey Badass. I saw Kamasi Washington. He's like a jazz saxophonist. Who else have I seen? Saw Wolf back there.
Dope.
Corey Wong. Yeah, like all different kinds of shows. The loudest show I've ever been to was Kamasi Washington playing jazz sax.
Really?
Yeah.
Loudest.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like,
does he have a full band with him too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got like somebody playing a cello and probably drums and guitars and stuff.
Nice.
He's good. Yeah.
That's the other thing. The backup singers for Hosier or whatever the freaking name is.
Yeah.
They like, you know how like backup singers when they're not doing anything or whatever, they have that like they keep their cadence or whatever, and they do their stupid little thing with the beat.
Yeah.
So again,
they all doing it at the same time.
No, so that's the thing is like they all couldn't like dance because I think the beat was off. They didn't know what to do. Like it was just really. I was like,
was this the same song?
No, this was like throughout the whole night. Really? Is where I'm just like watching, and like the one gal grabs a little like salt pepper shaker thing where that you know whatever, and like she was like trying to keep beat with her other hand and just like couldn't. And I was like, is it her? And then I was like, is it the drummer? And then the other one abandoned dancing and just like focused on like hitting with the drummer. I'm just like, this is really bizarre. I didn't know. I mean, good music. I don't want to make it sound like it was not a good concert. It was really fun. It was good. Just I could when something got off, I just looked at everyone like, am I the only one?
Yeah.
And it's like when you see the hands just drop because they don't know what the hell's going on. I'm like, that's okay. So I'm not the only one.
Yeah. I wonder.
So it was kind of validating, but
I bet it was something like with their inner monitors not working, or there was like some kind of delay on their inner monitors.
it could be. Oh, this was another kind of bizarre thing. Every single song, they switched guitars. And I don't know how many guitars they had. There was like he had 2 or 3 different acoustic ones.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 electric ones. And like
So
the whole band would change guitars
He would go back and forth like between
songs. I thought that was like exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like another guitar change?"
Well, so now that I'm a professional guitar player,
Mm-hmm.
I can probably tell you why. So obviously, like acoustic versus electric sound different,
Mm-hmm.
but also like you can set up electric guitars differently, and like so if you look at my electric guitar, I mean,
Corey Wong Fender.
I mean, no, it's not a Corey Wong Fender. I don't know if this will show up in the video, but if you look, there's 3 sets of pickups. This one here,
Mm-hmm.
towards the neck, the middle one, and the one towards
cluster
the
of 2.
end. So this one has got 2. It's called a humbucker. So that's more for like rock music where it's like kind of a dirtier tone.
Oh.
Where like some other electric guitars, you'll have either 2 or 3 of just the single pickups.
Okay.
So yeah, that's for different sounds. And also they're probably tuned differently. So like a lot of like standard tuning is E on the big string, A, D, G, B, E. But a lot of songs are tuned down a half step, so it's like
GDM.
E minor down through to E minor on the smallest string. Like every
So that would
yeah.
be the reason why they swap guitars,
Yeah.
is so they don't have to tune the whole thing back to
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Just
So there you
crazy.
go.
Like every song though, I was like, damn, dude. Like,
Yeah.
pick 3 in a row with the same guitar.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I do. Come on. But what am I? Anyway, so yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but it's like crowd singing along. Don't like it. And then just a validating thing, seeing everyone obviously pick up that the beat's off.
Yeah.
Then you have the diehard people who still clap when they see the guitarist guy who's clapping out of beat,
Yeah.
whatever. So,
But it was a good show. There
It was
was
a good
just
show,
weird
yeah.
stuff that happened. Yeah.
yeah, it was. The opener was like a local Minnesota artist. Bad. I did not. I was like, sorry, this was
Well,
not my not my music, and everyone like applauded, like, you know, it's like, oh, local, whatever. And I was just kind of like, I'll give you like a, you know, like A for
Golf
effort
clap.
kind of thing. Like, but it was like, that was not, don't pretend like that was, you're going to explode on the scene here. This is Mike Coda.
yeah.
Sorry.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Well, called him out.
She.
Oh, called her out.
Yeah. And then she was selling merch.
Did you buy
like
any?
a CD? No, I was like, I'm not buying your CD. This is
I don't
2023.
even know if I have a CD player. Actually, I think there's one in my car, but
I think cars still come with CD players now. Don't
brand new
they?
cars don't.
Yeah, brand new cars don't.
Yeah.
But when do you think? What year do you think they stopped putting CD players in vehicles? Like 2019?
I guess it would probably depend on what type of car.
Let's
it
say,
is.
okay, just common vehicles, not luxury vehicles.
Yeah, probably about 2019.
'Cause I think I have a CD player in my 16.
What year did they start requiring backup cameras? 2015 or something?
I couldn't tell you. Let's make it up and then have some people fact check us. I think 20. I think
it was-
2018, 2019. I think is when.
I actually think it was 2015 because my old car.
Or for backup cameras?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I believe that.
My old
I
car
mean-
was a 14 and it did not have a backup camera, and I think they started requiring it the year after.
I believe that. But for CD players, I think 2019 is my answer for that.
I believe that.
And I bet.
Speaking of fact checkers, I gotta go get my iPad.
Okay, I'll kill time then. All right, let's read some LinkedIn news. See what the daily rundown is. Well, too early. Everyone's an influencer on Gen Z. Okay. And Tim's back, thank goodness.
What are you talking about?
I was reading LinkedIn news, and it was like the first thing was Gen Z, everyone's an influencer. Okay.
Are they, though?
I don't know. We're not Gen Z. We're millennials, right?
That is true.
Never thought I would be like a superior generation. You know, we were just beaten down when we were in high school. Like, millennials are going to ruin the world.
Yeah.
It's like somehow we are the ones now, I mean, essentially running it. But now
Who runs the world?
Millennials. Now we're combating all these young folks who are like, TikTok is life. I don't even know what to... Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Wait, so you don't even know what TikTok is?
I mean, that's how I feel. That's not who I am.
Okay. I got 2 fact checks. I couldn't, if you remember, I couldn't think of the other Iowa State quarterback that was like a career backup in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Sam got it. He said, I think you're thinking of Sage Rosenfels, but I wouldn't consider that a generic white guy name. I said, yes, that is who I was thinking of. Maybe I was just picturing his generic white guy face.
Or you're thinking like Jimmy Dean, like sausage. You know what I mean? There's a sage.
I was like...
sage seasoned or something sausage. Breakfast sausage. Jimmy Dean's.
Yeah. I have not heard dads yelling after their daughter's named Sage, though, so didn't have the impact that Seneca Wallace did, apparently.
Oh, yeah, Seneca. That's so gross.
The other...
sorry, not gross, but just... sorry.
The other thing, my friend Sam texted me and said that he had no idea that EP stood for extended play, and he was like, that's weird that that's less songs than a LP, which I said was limited play. That is incorrect. I've always thought it was limited play, but it's actually long play, which makes more sense.
So long plays are shorter than EP?
Long plays are full-length albums. EPs are like mixtapes.
Gotcha, okay. I'm always confused with music things when they say, like, you know, new single.
Yeah.
And then later that single's on an album.
Yeah.
That bothers me a little bit.
The reason that's a thing is because I was actually telling Sam this when I was explaining EPs. But singles are a thing because record companies would send out like literal single albums. Like they'd send out a vinyl record to the radio stations.
Oh, okay.
So that's where singles came from. So it's like
Gotcha.
a preview of your album.
Okay.
And then that's where extended plays come from because it's more than one. So they can play, like, a lot of times there'd just be one on each side. So then they can just put it down or flip it over, play the other one.
That's cool. Did I tell you, sorry, if you were in the middle of what you were talking about.
Nope.
There was watch a little video thing about, I think Nickelback was on a podcast.
Yeah.
And it was just this really cool thing or not cool thing, but when they were starting to kind of, they were still really small, haven't blown up yet.
Yeah.
I guess the main lead singer guy would call radio stations and say, hey, you know, you want to play could you play our album or our latest song? And they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. And he'd say, you know, could you send me your playlist? And then, you know, I can, whatever. So he would get a hold of one playlist and he would try, like, literally at the time, this is like, whatever, 90s, cut, like, their song, the Nickelback song, and move it to the top and, like, re-photocopy it.
Really?
And then he'd send it to other radio stations and say, hey, if you want to mix in our thing, this is a different radio station's playlist, and put him near the top, Nickelback.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's how they got so elevated so fast, is everyone thought they were bigger.
That's hilarious.
So it was like a really, like, talk about hustle. He's like, that was like what I did for.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, that's super crazy.
That's actually really cool.
Just 'cause that's kind of like the same vein of like Evel Knievel, what he did.
What did he do?
Evel Knievel. What he did, he and like I think a few buddies, when he was doing stunts and stuff, trying to get gigs, no one knew who he was, and so they all would call these arenas or these show entertainment things and pretend to be different people. Like, have you ever heard of Evel Neville and like Evel Knievel and like all this stuff and like say it in different ways, like, oh my gosh, he's big. And so they create this, who is this that big and I've never heard of. And then they got tons of gigs because people thought they were bigger than they actually were, kind of thing.
Huh.
Someone should fact check me on that, but
I believed you.
it sounded pretty convincing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue. What was any more fact checkers?
No, I think that was it. I thought my brother might have texted me, so I was trying to look for that, but I didn't see anything.
No, dope.
We were texting a lot, my brother and I, because we had a little bachelor party situation last weekend.
A situation?
You familiar? You were there.
I was there. Are you talking about?
I wasn't talking about a specific situation. I was just
Oh,
trying to be vague.
gotcha. Yeah, the McRib situation or what?
Yeah, something like that. We went.
That's crazy.
We chartered a fishing boat.
A vessel.
Yeah, for a few hours, and you and I were the only ones to catch any fish.
Yeah, I had to beat you at something. I guess my fish was a little bigger than yours.
Well, mine might have been longer, but mine was a northern pike.
Okay,
You
so
don't
they were
really-
different.
You don't really eat those. I mean, some people do, but
in desperate times.
most average fish.
So I got a walleye and you got a pike.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about fish.
Was that the first fish you ever caught?
I mean, I caught little things in the past, but like actual
First real
fishing, like
fish.
something that weighs more than a pound, yes.
Nice.
So
It's a good one to start with.
yeah,
That was a pretty decent walleye, but Lake Mille Lacs has like pretty specific rules about what fish you can keep.
well, gosh, I was hoping for a fight.
Yeah.
I've been watching so much Jeremy Wade in my time, so I'm just like extreme angler. I'm like, I see him fighting with like sharks and with like steel cable
Yeah.
lines. So I'm just like,
You gotta go fishing with Brad to do that, because Brad goes muskie fishing, and like
they fight.
a good muskie is like 50 plus inches long.
Damn.
Your fish was, I think, like 19.
19, I think, yeah. Big boy.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Or girl. Yeah.
Cool.
I think the girl fish are actually bigger. So
Big girl.
I might have just made that up.
Okay. Well, they get, whatever. They got, what's the egg stuff? When you eat fish eggs, what is that
Caviar
called? Caviar. There you go.
or roe. If it's like on sushi, they call it roe.
Oh, like row tide.
Yeah, roe tide.
or row the boat or whatever.
Something like that.
Nice. Well, what else you got? I found an article that I thought was interesting.
Hit me.
Well, not interesting, but I just want your opinion. So this was getting a little bit of flack. So undercover audio from Virginia chicken farm suggests food manufacturers essentially have free reign over how to use labels such as free range. On the recording, a Tyson Foods technician can be heard saying free range birds, quote, don't go outside, quote, Vox reports. Use of the term requires chickens to be housed in barns with small openings, but as the nonprofit American Pastured Poultry Producers, did you say that 5 times fast, notes, outdoor time, quote, is not actually required or enforced. Most barns are overcrowded. That makes many chickens cannot spend any time outside, making the label a fundamental deceit, quote, from the APPPA. Other terms that have no legal definition include humanely raised, ethically raised, sustainable, humane, and raised by family farmers. What do you think about all that?
I don't know. I guess I'm not that surprised, but disappointed.
Like, so when you buy, not saying certain people buy certain things for certain reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Totally cool with that. If someone said humanely raised, what do you think that means? Like, what does that mean to you, I guess? Versus if you see a package that doesn't say anything, it's just chicken. And then you see a chicken that says humanely raised and it's $1.20 more.
Well, I think if it's like actually labeled free range, that I would think that it's like a chicken coop, but it's always open to outside. Like it's not like you're in a jail cell and you
Right.
get some like
Recess.
30 minutes of outside time.
What about humanely raised though?
I would think there would be some kind of regulation about what exactly that means and like some oversight.
But what does it mean to you? The article just said like there is no oversight. These are just made up things. It's like a deceit.
That they're not like jammed in a barn somewhere, that they actually have room to move around and
Right. Like when I see
are fed like real food that chickens like. I don't know what chickens eat. Maggots.
Yeah, that's to me that's one of those things where I see right through all that stuff and I'm like there's no way you can mass produce this kind of product and call it humanely,
Yeah.
So when I see humanely raised, I'm just like I don't know what that means. Like I legitimately it's like okay. Yeah.
It's a good point.
You
It's
just have
like,
an open door, and is that it? I mean, like, it's chickens at the end of the day. It's not like you can, like, give them a better life than...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a crass or anything, but it's just like, let's boil it down. Not the chicken, but let's boil this... I mean, it's food at the end of the day for us.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have... Well, some people have pet chickens. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but...
I know a guy.
Pet chickens?
Well, not really for pet, but for eggs.
For
and
eggs,
stuff.
yeah, there you go.
My aunt actually has a bunch of chickens too.
For eggs or for just
For eggs.
fun? Okay.
Yeah. They might eat the chickens.
See,
Possibly.
and
Not
that's
sure.
a good. So my question to that would be, that's cool, but how would like chicken owners or people who raise chickens or for eggs or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know their definition of humanely raised versus just like you throw feed on the ground, they eat it.
When I think humanely raised, I picture what my aunt has. Like it's literally like a chicken coop, and then there's a giant fence around it, so they can like go in and out of the chicken coop. But it must just be like one of those buzzwords, like
oh yeah,
new Chevy trucks built with military grade steel or aluminum, probably.
right, yeah,
Or like that doesn't actually mean anything.
right.
Yeah, military planes are made with aluminum, so are Chevy trucks.
But I mean, I think it's a little different because these are like, it's like personification of how you raise things, I guess. Like, it's not like humanely sourced steel.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's just Jack Tyson's opinion. He's like, yeah, that's pretty humane.
yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, it doesn't, that kind of marketing doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
It's
works
like,
for me. I like buying free range eggs.
That's fine. That's cool.
I like the brown eggs. I think they taste better.
And I usually buy that stuff. I'm not saying I don't. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things where I'm like, this is like 50 cents more. And they look bigger. It's like, okay, I'm going to go with those.
Yeah.
It's like, did the chicken get a college degree or something? It's like, I think Portlandia made a joke on that. Like they were in a restaurant. They're like, what kind of education did these chickens that we're about to eat have? And
That's awesome.
it's hilarious. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting article because it's like the main focus was, is it a deceitful way to market product?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no legally bearing grounds for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I could create a chicken egg brand and just say, like, listens to calming. I could just put calming, ripe music over the loudspeakers and just say funky chickens, or whatever, groovy chickens,
Yeah.
or chickens that know how to have fun, Mississippi chickens.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
There you go.
Seems like Mississippi chicken's pretty easy to draw the line there, though.
Like, that is the line, or like that's too far? That crosses the line.
No, like the line of what makes it a Mississippi chicken.
What makes him Mississippi man?
That's a throwback.
Throwback, yeah. Episode 27.
I don't actually know what episode we're on. 39,
38,
maybe?
yeah.
38.
I don't know. Making it up.
Yep.
What else you got?
I saw the movie.
Keep going.
I saw the movie Air. Are you
Air.
familiar?
Oh, is
It's
that about
about-
the Nike shoes?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Yeah, it actually was really good. So spoiler alert:
You
the
own
Jordan
Nikes.
the Jordan shoes end up getting the contract with Nike at the end of the movie. I didn't know if you know that, but I didn't realize that Michael Jordan's mom like negotiated that he was going to get a percent cut of all the like Jordan shoes that got sold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that was like never had happened before, but Nike was like competing with Adidas and Converse to try and get this deal, and they didn't have a lot of money at the time.
Okay.
So they were like, okay, yeah, fine, we'll do it. And then in the movie, Phil Knight, the like head of Nike, is like laying on his couch, and he's like trying to meditate and like try to reconcile with that he just made this crazy deal that like he'll get a percent cut of the shoes. He's like, did we just set a terrible precedent, whatever? And then he finally he's like, you know what? What's the biggest deal? Like, or what's the big deal? Like, what's the most we've ever sold in a year on one pair of shoes? Like $3 million. And then it pops up on the screen. The first year, they sold $167 million worth of Jordans.
Oh my gosh!
And then
what percent of that did Michael get?
They didn't say, but I think you could do the math. But they say like supposedly he still makes like to this day $400 million a year from those shoes. Michael Jordan does.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy to think like. So those are the conversations that I like to. Because people who are salty about rich people, it's like, oh, like, blah, blah, they're like salty about it, right? It's like, I'm telling you, like, disposable income means they don't know how to spend it, so they just buy the things that you don't need because it's like, yeah, I'll buy a car that's $200,000 because I don't know what to do with this money.
Yeah,
it's like the Bezos or like anyone of that kind of. It's like I can lose $400 million this year, and I'm gonna make it next year. It's like I don't need to. It's like what's the point of keep making it bigger and bigger when it's like you can't spend that, you can't do anything.
Right.
It's like you're really just assigning cool projects and like create. Really, you're a creator at that point.
Yeah.
Or if you're a force for good.
Yeah. You can do the Bill Gates thing and like kind of dedicate all your life to trying
helping
to make
others and eradicating illness and stuff. Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would like to do, and have nice cars and a beach house and stuff like that. But sorry, I got off on a tangent there.
No, that was it. I just thought that part of the movie was cool. And
did we talk about the silo?
The show?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, have you watched it?
No, but I proposed it to Belinda the other day, and she just goes, I don't want to watch a sci-fi show right now. I was like, okay.
It's not super sci-fi, but it's like, whatever. It's interesting.
You like it?
There are things, I have problems with some of it, but I like it.
Do you think I would?
I like the idea. So I just want your opinion on it. I don't want to ruin anything. Because I'm beating up on very specific things. I don't know if you want me to share this or
yeah,
no?
Go for it.
So the concept is very, the City of Ember. Ever heard of that book? They made a movie of it too with
I don't think so.
So the City of Ember is this civilization that's like essentially underground, and they have to keep this generator running to stay alive, to keep power and all this stuff. And what's happening in the City of Ember is the generator is starting to fail. And this is like people have 250 years underground in this thing. And so the mayor always has this thing. There's this box that has a timer that is ticking down, and no one knows what happens. Like through these generations, they've lost the meaning of what the timer is. And now the timer's like at 0, and that's like the life of the generator. And that means, you can go to the surface and get out. Because there's like, I don't know, nuclear war. They don't really explain why or what.
Yeah, yeah.
But so through the generations, no one knows what this timer is. And so all these mayors and stuff don't really care. Bill Murray's the mayor at this most recent time. And so they're trying to fix this thing. But it's like, no, this is the end of its life kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like, that's the City of Ember. This is kind of the same vein, but there's like a couple twists to it. So it's like they live in this silo, and they talk about like you can't leave the silo, because you'll die because there's like nuclear war and stuff. If you ask to leave, you can. There's all these like, weird kind of things that you got to watch it to kind of get.
Mm-hmm.
The things that so to me, it's a different variation of the City of Ember, which is totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon. But like the things that I'm beating up about is like, so the protagonist is like the head engineer for fixing the generator or whatever.
Mm-hmm. This
And
is
it's like,
silos, or this is
the silo, yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm changing gears.
Yep,
So the
yep.
silo, and so she's like the head engineer, whatever. You know, you can kind of tell some shows that stand out when they're really, really well done. It's like, I just don't know how to explain it. Like they do it in such a way to where you're like, you get taken along for the ride, but you can fill in the pieces yourself.
Yeah.
This one, it's kind of how I would describe it as a little old school, where, you know, you're introducing a character for the first time, and so you walk in on them doing what they're good at, or a significant character trait.
Yeah.
That without saying what it is, it shows you that they're good at their job or something,
Yeah.
right? Whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I'm not beating up about that presentation. That's fine. Like tons of shows and movies do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But what bothered me with this one is, you know, they did that. You know, she's in the generator and they're meeting her for the first time, and it's like, it drove me absolutely crazy because they did it twice in like, I think one in the same episode or 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
She loosens like a bolt within the generator,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know, wipes the sweat off her brow and leaves the thing. And then it's like, you know, then the dialogue starts to like, oh, you must be the head engineer kind of thing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But so to me, I'm just like, usually you tighten and then you're done, you know,
Yeah.
you swipe the brow. But I was like, she loosened it. And I was just like, that job's not done. And so like, I was literally like hung up on it. And I said like, is she going to go back and tighten that? Like, it didn't like, you know, there's no specific, I was just like, whoa, that seemed really off. Like lefty loosey, righty tighty,
Mm-hmm.
lefty loosey on this. And it was like a big wrench. So that's where I'm like, it was an obvious gesture. Like she loosened it. So it just drove me absolutely crazy. And I'm like, okay. Anyway, then it happened again. And I was just like, okay, maybe this is like, they should explain what loosening does, because I said, maybe I'm looking too far into it, but I was literally like, I took a back seat. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to like take it for what it is. But I was like, maybe this is why the generator's failing. So sorry, but it's not a spoiler by any means. It's just an observation.
Like how the show works. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, there's good cast. Will Patton's in it. I really like him.
Yeah, I think I prefer shows where like they kind of let you figure it out. Like they don't hold your hand the whole time.
Yeah.
Like Severance.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of throw you into it and let you kind of let your mind work.
Well, and arguably Mr. Robot.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I thought there was a lot of... It's cool because I feel like both those shows, you plug in the pieces yourself.
Yeah.
And it kind of can... It's like you're on the same path, but everyone can come to different conclusions based on what you're thinking and piecing together. Like you could observe something and be right. Mm-hmm. I could observe something, also be right. Mm-hmm. And then if we talk about it, then it's all of a sudden... That could be, and it's like we have these like 3 paths that are in the same direction, but we don't know. I don't know.
Speaking of coming to different conclusions, I finished Sopranos last week.
Yeah.
I really liked the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many seasons? Is it 10 seasons?
No, it's well, technically it's 6, but the 6th season is like split in 2, like 2 halves. And they're both like as long as the other seasons. So
like same amount of
basically
episodes?
7, yeah.
Okay. You're not a Rick and Morty guy, are you?
I've watched a lot of it, but wouldn't say I'm like a super fan.
They just released season 6 out on HBO, and I liked it better than season 5.
They did like full dump of all the episodes?
Yes.
Maybe
and I think I guess... is it Justin Roiland or something? Or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently he's # been canceled. And
why?
I think there was like allegations that he did some stuff,
Oh.
and it's like scummy stuff,
Mm.
and so it was like, that's too bad. And I think they're trying to find a voice replacement kind of thing. Like they want to keep going with it, but
Doesn't he do like the animations and everything?
yeah, I don't think he does the animate. He could do the animations. I think
Or maybe he just like came up with the
he
characters.
came up with. I think he did those half the voices though.
Yeah.
But so I don't know how that's gonna pan out. It's like just kill it maybe, or bring
Yeah.
him back. But yeah. What else you got?
What else have I watched recently?
Well-
Been doing a lot of work on the lawn,
Mm.
watering like 3 times a
You
day.
a Scott's kind of lawn guy. I mean,
Oh,
Jake
no.
Jake has that app that like tells him like at this time go out and walk your yard, and
Really?
at this time water it, at this time fertilize it.
No, I just been doing it by feel. Like
Mm.
all
Gut feeling.
the dirt's looking a little dry. Time to water.
Smart.
But-
Nice.
Yeah, we went with Jonathan Green seed, not Scott's. I do have a Scott's little spreader
Mm.
and Lesco fertilizer
Let's go.
from I think I
So
got
you
that
want
at
Morgo?
Home Depot. I think it's Lesco, Lesco.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was something that popped in my head. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm not cutting you off.
No.
Things just pop in my head. So, do you think it's certain teachers who teach people when they're growing up, like bison versus bison, a Z or S?
It's bison unless you live in North Dakota. Then
No,
it's
so
bison.
there's another word, I can't think of it right now.
Tomato.
But it's like, it was, for me, I'm just asking, like, who says that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people say bison, and I'm like, it's not a Z. I don't know. I'm just,
The only people that say bison live in eastern North Dakota. That's a fact.
there's another word, though, that, I can't think of the word. I'm so mad at that. I can't think of it right now, because I had a really good point where I was like, okay, bison's an example, but here's another example that has no bearing or no justification. I don't know. Okay, never mind. We'll drive on.
I think really the only other impactful thing I've watched recently was I watched the what's that guy's name? The guy from Back to the Future. What the hell's that guy's name? The main
Christopher
guy.
Lloyd.
No, the main guy.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox documentary called
Oh, Still?
Yeah,
Really good?
it was really
You
good.
cry?
I think. Oh yeah, big time.
You
Multiple
cried
times.
big time?
Yeah.
Multiple times?
Yeah.
Like, you watch it multiple times? You
No,
cried?
I cried multiple times watching it once.
Damn.
It's yeah, it's tough to watch. It's
Is
really
that
tough to
on-
watch.
Apple
Yeah.
TV? Okay.
It's good though.
What's your least favorite thing about it?
Well,
The crying aspect.
I didn't cry because I didn't like it. I cried because it was emotional.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He just like, I've got multiple people in my life that have Parkinson's. So like just seeing, cause he's had Parkinson's for like 40 years.
Yeah.
He got it like when he was 28 or something,
Yeah.
which is just insane. Like he was diagnosed when he was 28. Like
Yeah, that was like, I don't want to say the height of his career, but
It
kind of,
was,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Like, wasn't he
Yeah.
doing like a ton of, he was like the Chris Pratt of
yeah.
the 80s and 80s.
And he
I guess.
tried to hide it too. Like it started in his left hand, like his left hand would just kind of get twitchy. So he would always like, they showed clips of like his old movies and shows and stuff. And he said like I would just try to hold something in my hand. So like they showed all these clips of him like, where like he had his arms crossed and you could kind of see his hand twitching under his other arm.
Yeah. Back to the Futures are still my
Mm-hmm.
favorite trilogy. I hope
Yeah.
they never reboot it. I hope they never do.
They can't, right? They
They-
can't.
I think they can, but I just hope they don't.
Yeah.
I think it's like what other movies that shouldn't they reboot?
All of them. Just make new stuff.
So you must hate the live action Lion King.
I'm
and
not
all
gonna
that.
watch it.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I
No, I have there's so much new good stuff to watch. Why would I watch some old crap?
no,
that
that's
they
what I'm
remade?
saying. I know. I'm with you there, man. Because
Yeah.
to me it doesn't make any damn. It's like it's not original.
No.
It's like you're just doing it with better graphics. It's like boo.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like to me it's slam dunk. It's like I don't know. I don't know who owns the rights to Back to the Future. But what was it?
Either.
There was a
Is it Paramount?
well, who was it? No, that was I watched a clip or I read somewhere. It was like Sylvester Stallone with Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
The guy the producer or something, the original producer owns the rights, and he kept like making it or whatever. And now, like I think Sylvester Stallone wanted to buy the rights, or I can't remember what the story was, but it was like that's why he's not going to be in any more Creed movies, is because the rights or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's crazy. Someone should look that up for me.
It seems like whenever we tell people to fact check us, they
They
never
don't.
do on that stuff. It's because we're admitting that we're probably wrong already.
Yeah, we need to just say something with
You just have to be really
98
confident. Yeah.
98% confidence, and then someone will say, they seem overly confident on that.
And then my brother will be like, "That's not right," and he'll look it up and let us know.
Yeah, so we're always
Or
right.
Sam.
Yeah, we're always right.
Those are our two biggest fact checkers, keeping us in line.
Okay, you let someone slip last week. The sock folks still are trolling us?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that. I guess I don't care, but
yeah.
I thought that would
There was I think it. Do you remember when the one lady emailed us?
I mean
Janice, I think is her name.
yeah, Janice or Janet or something.
She commented on one of the more recent episodes on YouTube and said, "The camera's too high."
Jeez. Do you think it's AI or like a bot or something, or like what?
Well, I don't want to be rude, but I'm going to guess her name is not actually Janice.
Do you think it's a she?
Probably not.
Do you think it's a he?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Well, Janice. Say hi to Tim.
Janice, I will refer to her as she because that's how she identified herself. She said that she understood that, like, because I was emailing back and forth with her, trying to figure out what the deal was. She said that it is kind of weird that she's a woman that's into feet, but she said she was a woman. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm more hung up on the feet thing more than I am what her.
Well, yeah, guys are weird. Like, it's more expected that it would be just some weirdo perv dude that likes your stinky feet.
Hey, my feet smell like rose petals. I've said that multiple times.
Maybe they like that they stink. I don't know.
Yeah, stinky feet. That's a weird kink, but cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're showing off your LinkedIn tattoo. Should I try it to see if it works?
I bet it won't. There's too much hair. I haven't shaved it. And
You got to clean it up for it to work. Hold on.
Here you go, Janice. That's for you.
Oh, it's trying. It's like recognizes that it's a.
I think I need to make
QR
it flatter.
Your leg is too strong and round. That actually seems like it's helping. It's so close. It's like, I know this is a
I think it's
QR
hairy.
code. But your hair is not that dark. Like, it should just work.
But maybe it's distorting.
Maybe I'll zoom out. Your thighs are too strong.
It's like too rounded, I think.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
It's good to know. How long ago did you get that? Like a year and a half or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Still works.
Yeah, well, that's really validating because I thought it would never work ever again. So
That's awesome. You
Hell
just had to contort your leg a little bit.
yeah. Well, now I'm getting on the bike a lot more. Man, talk about being out of shape.
Yeah.
But it's good. Fun fact too, I have friends in high places, and one of them works at Quality Bikes in Bloomington.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for the first time ever, they're gonna start discounting bikes because I have too much inventory.
That's good to know.
Good to know. If you're interested in a bike, I don't know. I'm waiting for it to hit rock bottom before I pull the trigger. But
I just bought my bike a couple years ago. And
is it a gravel or is it like a road?
No, mine's a road bike. It's a Trek Damani, and I got like it's not like carbon anything. I don't actually. Maybe the fork is carbon. I don't remember, but it is a pretty nice bike. I spent more on that bicycle than I did on my motorcycle. So
Damn.
that tells you something.
There you go.
But
$10,000.
No.
Oh.
It was
12.
Both of them were pretty cheap compared to expensive. My motorcycle, I bought it like when used cars were like as cheap as could be a few years ago. Actually, many years ago now. It's a 1982, so like
Vintage.
it was not expensive.
Still.
But
yeah. FYI, yeah. So bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. Everyone, when you say I'm going to hop on the bike tonight, people immediately think, "Oh, you have a motorcycle." So I had that conversation at work. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a motorcycle," and I'm like, "I don't. I'm hopping on my bicycle."
It does sound pretty lame when you say gonna hop on my bicycle.
I know, it's
bike,
like
though.
when I hit the road on the bike, and they're like, "Wow,
On
the
the
Harley
hog.
on the yeah." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, I could have taken two roads. One, yeah, and just let them believe I have a motorcycle,
Mm-hmm.
or the truth, which I opted for. No. You're talking a murder cycle. I have a bicycle."
I'm actually curious. How many people die a year on motorcycles versus bicycles?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I'm guessing motorcycles are probably more just because you're operating at a lot higher speeds and people do dumb stuff.
You're talking deaths, right? Not.
Yeah.
Well, so that would be the question: is, are they? Like, I feel like a bicyclist is probably dying from getting hit,
Yeah.
whereas a motorcyclist could die from either getting hit or wrecking.
Yeah.
So if you could peel back those distinctions, I bet motorcyclists could die more.
I have a friend that hit a deer at 70 miles an hour on his motorcycle.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Was he wearing a helmet?
He
Or
was.
she?
He was. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he was totally fine. The motorcycle was totaled. I
did
think
the deer die instantly, or was that like kind of twitching a little and like?
Well, I think
hating it?
if I remember right, because it was in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota. If I remember right, he laid the bike down because he saw the deer, knew that he wasn't going to be able to get out of the way, and
Okay.
so he wasn't on the bike when it made impact.
Gotcha. So he kind of did like a Fast and Furious type,
Yeah.
Jason Statham move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Did he get road rash on his ass or something?
He probably did.
Or did he just like slide it and like stand up like
He's
in the movies?
He was good about wearing his safety gear. So
That's good.
I mean, you still like when you're going 70 miles an hour and sliding across pavement, you're gonna rip that stuff up anyway. So I bet he did get a little road rash, but
better than impact.
yeah, for sure. But I think after that he was like, I'm done riding motorcycles. Like, yeah.
My dad said he almost got in a few accidents. He had a motorcycle, and he's like, I think he had in the same week or 2 weeks, he had like 2 near-death experiences, and he's like, and I don't know if it was due to him,
Yeah.
but he was just like, yeah, I'm done with this. Like,
Yeah.
he was just like, the juice ain't worth the squeeze kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, my motorcycle hasn't run in a few years, but I think I'm at a point where like I would like to have it just for like going around town, but I'm not going on like long road trips and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my motorcycle wasn't even really that kind of motorcycle anyway. Like in the 80s, where every highway was 55 miles an hour, like it's not meant to go faster than that. So
sure. Okay. What is
Yeah.
it? A Kawasaki or
It's
a
a
Honda?
It's a Yamaha
Mm. Yamaha.
Virago 750, 1982. I did get a lot of like when I was like I had it in college and I rode to class every day when it was nice out, and I had a lot of like old guys on their Harleys be like, "Sweet bike, man." They just liked that it was old.
Yeah, was it old guys or was it all the pretty girls being like, "Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
gosh, nice bike, bro."
It was old guys.
Oh,
It was
man.
old guys for sure. But I only had one like near accident, but it wasn't even really like that bad. It was only sketchy because I was on a motorcycle, not in a car. Like I was going through town, college, coming over a hill. It was near some construction, and on the other side of the hill, everybody was braking. So I got to the top of the hill, saw everybody braking. I braked, but my back wheel locked up, and because I was on, like, it was like construction, it's kind of sandy.
Oh yeah.
It started sliding, and I could feel the tail end, like, kind of
Fishing.
like fishing a little bit. But it came back, luckily, my front brake didn't lock up, because then, like, as soon as that catches, if you're not perfectly straight, you get thrown over the front.
Mm-hmm.
But
Geez,
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it like just, I was able to slowly ease off the brake, so it was still like slowing down, but whatever. And then once it caught the pavement, it pulled it back in.
Nice.
It just was like, it happened so fast, but it just felt so sketchy.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I feel like,
And I was only going like 20 miles an hour. Like, I would have been fine
but still.
wearing a helmet.
Hell yeah. Did you have a full blown like a Daft Punk helmet, or was it like just an open face one?
No, I had a full blown helmet, and it was like, I mean, I still have it, but it had like had the full visor with like it was like a normal helmet, right? It's got like the thing across the chin, the visor comes down, but then it also had like a shaded visor. I could just hit a button, and it's like,
Ooh, super cool. Like kind of like a Top Gun.
yeah,
Going into the sun.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Sweet. Do you have to like manually flip it up then, or can you flip it right back like that?
I actually don't remember. I don't think you didn't have to manually do it, but I think maybe there was like a lever to do it on the side.
Dope.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, dang, I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything.
It's a beautiful day out. Now I want to go for a motorcycle ride.
Dun, dun, dun.
Too bad
Do
it
it.
doesn't work.
Do it to it. I got a grout today.
That'll be fun. I love grout. I hate it, actually.
I was gonna say you love grout.
Yeah.
Well, I finished tiling yesterday, so I got to make sure that turned out all right, and then I'm gonna go out.
Tiling is like my least favorite home improvement activity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I saw your bathroom, which looks great, and all the little tiles you used. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got the biggest tiles you could get, 25
Smart.
by 13-inch tiles.
Mm-hmm.
And then thank you for your tile scorer splitter thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll return that. But yeah, right now I'm at the point of I'm gonna grout this, get everything done, and then I think I'm gonna pay someone to do my shower. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just. I want it done, and I'll probably do it wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it wrong. I just want to like be done with it.
You can cause yourself so many problems if you're not.
Yeah, and
It's
then
not
the price just
waterproof,
keeps
right?
going up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, very good. You excited for what is it, June 12th or something?
I'd say so. Are you?
I am. I need to figure out what I'm wearing because my buddy won't tell me.
You're going to go with Amazon suits so you could get it 2 days before. It'll be fine.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm flying in, and then
I forgot about that.
I'm staying at an Airbnb like 5 blocks away from the
Nice.
whatever. So
Nice.
we'll see. Time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
How big is this event?
Like how many people?
Yeah.
I
And
think,
dogs. I mean, I don't count dogs as people.
No, there's no dogs as far as I know.
So DMX is not invited.
Well, he's dead.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Where his dog's at.
I did send DMX an invite, but he did not respond.
No response. Bummer.
I'm trying to go look at our little spreadsheet here. That's right now we've got about 160 probably.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
All right, should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap her up. Well, thanks, Tim, and
Thank
very
you.
good. All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
At Couch Beers Pod.
At
You
Couch
as
Beers
well.
Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
couchbeerspodcast@gmail.com. Fact check us. Don't do anything Zach wouldn't do.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Ah.
Nice.
Looks better on camera.
I think it looks good. We're talking about his tattoo.
Well, I was going to say my thigh journey, but...
Oh. I was at the gym the other day, and I thought of,
Ouch.
like a workout brand name, and I wish I could remember what it was, because I wanted to get your opinion on it. It was like thigh something.
Swoleville.
I don't remember.
Yoketown, USA, baby.
I don't think it was that. It was
All right.
thigh something. Or something thigh. I don't remember. I'll try and think of it again.
Thigh high, baby. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.